else.
On this channel, I aim to be honest, candid, and true representation of who I really am on the inside, okay? So this is my first video, and if you're new here, then I hope you can stick around to hear what I have to say. Loving yourself means that you're okay by yourself, and you might feel as though you can't be alone, it's too much to be alone, but being alone is the best thing you can do for yourself, especially if you're going through some sort of turmoil inside you or you have confidence issues. It's the best thing for you to do, is to be by yourself. How did I learn this? Okay, when I was much younger, I was like a teenager, 18 going on 19, I left the UK and I went to Germany. I chose off of my own back at 18, 19 to leave the UK and experience something new. I went over there in 2009. Now fast forward to 2011, 12. In that time period between 2009 and 2012, I had gone to Germany and come back. I'm in Berlin this time, okay? And Berlin is a very cosmopolitan city. It's very reflective of Shoreditch, yeah? Very like hippie-ish, laid back, you know, cool. You know, people aren't taking like, well, the people in my age group at the time, I was early 20s, not taking life too seriously, just trying to find themselves. It was the perfect scene for me at the time. I basically put myself out there as soon as I got there, and I made a bunch of friends, which looking back was very brave of me. Was living good life, enjoying myself. The first year specifically, when I'd arrived, it was, you know, the height of summer. You know, the vibe and the atmosphere was amazing. There was this buzz in the city. It just had so much potential, and I could see myself thriving in Germany. After the first year, the hype died down, okay? And I was like, okay, so I've integrated into the society, which means that the initial butterflies that you get when you're in anything new, a relationship, you know, a new house, all of that, even when you give birth and have a child, the initial butterflies wear off. It's just become normal now, okay? I'm going to work, I'm now studying, I'm doing all the things that I was practically doing here in London. Only difference is that my scene was different and I had a bunch of new friends. I lived out there for 3 years in Berlin. Second year going into the third year, I quickly discovered that I was pretty alone. I clocked that when you're in another country and you have barely anybody to relate to in a sense of where you originally come from in your culture in London. This is the black, you know, being black then being British. It's not common. A lot of people don't even know that there's black people in London because they've never been, and they have a stereotypical view of what London means, you know, drinking tea with your pinky raised, the Queen, all of this stuff, right? I spent a lot of time in reflection, you know, thinking about things that I haven't dealt with from my childhood, thinking about where I was at in my life at that particular moment, thinking about what I could do better, you know, thinking about where my life was headed, and it was a lot of backward and forward in my mind. So okay, so I bought a bike, you know, I bought a bike so that I could ride around the city, because Berlin's a really cycle friendly city, and I would ride around in the summer by myself, you know, I would go sightseeing by myself. I had friends come over from London at some points and stuff, so I did have company, and I did make actually genuine friends. I can say thankfully I made genuine friends when I was out there, but I still felt alone because my culture, my heritage, and my nationality created that divide for me. During that time, you know, I had broken down in emotional rages. I had, you know, been really happy and been really up, and, you know, I had an amazing experience out there, because one thing that it taught me was how to be alone. When you're in a situation where you have no choice but to be alone, you are forced to look into the mirror, look at yourself for who you really are. All your thoughts, all your desires, all your, you know, things that you're ashamed of about yourself, all these things become apparent when you're alone, because there's no distractions. I put a lot of pressure on myself, and I really put myself, like, I judged myself so much on the fact that I wasn't, you know, I didn't feel connected to anything or anybody. And it wasn't nice. I was being mean to myself. You know, fast forward and I'm in my late 20s now. And I feel free, and I don't have friends because I choose not to have friends. And the reason why is because I'm secure in who I am and I love myself enough not to settle for friendships that don't help me grow. They don't help me become a better version of myself. They don't reflect love, all of these things. That time that I had to spend alone helped me to love myself even more. Because at the end of the day, you're your own biggest fan. You're your first best friend. You're the person that you live with in your mind. You experience your own thoughts. So it's only right that you're kind to yourself. The reasons why I'm happy about that is because if I want to do anything, I don't have to depend upon people to do those with. I date myself. You know, I'm also single. So I date myself. I go places by myself and enjoy food that I want to enjoy. I don't have to call up people. I don't have to ask them to save. If I want to go on holiday, I will go by myself. I also have a young son who's only 2 years old, and I take my son with me. If my son is not with me and he's with his father for maybe 2 days, then that's an opportunity for me to date myself even more. So I'm on a journey to really loving myself so that if I do ever attract anybody in the future, there will be people who reflect how I treat myself. I'm happy. I have a happy life without friends. The real work comes when I'm not nice to myself. It's not really about who likes me or who wants to be my friend. It's more, how much am I being a friend to myself? How much am I liking myself? That's number one. A lot of people are out here looking for validation and looking for love in all the wrong places. The one place you should be looking is at yourself in the mirror every single day and telling yourself that you are loved. You are loved, okay? You're loved by yourself. Working on yourself, putting yourself first. That doesn't mean that you should be WhatsApping or messaging with people who have decided to, you know, they're bored and they want a bit of your energy. And you should be focusing on you. If you decide you want to pick up your phone and have a little chat, that's fine. But it should be off of your back. You should be working towards your goals. Now, I say all of this to say that my journey is probably going to be a long journey to self-love, okay? The time that you're alone is precious and it's golden, and you should be using it to cultivate a business, yourself. You should be really taking that time to become your greatest version. There will be a time in the future where you might make friends. The reason why maybe you don't have friends right now is because you're not there yet. There will be a time where you'll be free and you'll be happier and you will attract the right people. But until then, enjoy your journey. Enjoy being authentically you. Enjoy all your quirks. You know, praise yourself when you do great things. Pat yourself on the back for your accomplishments. Spend time alone and, you know, laugh. Take yourself out on dates if you're single. This is men too. Do it by yourself. And if it feels uncomfortable, then that means you're growing. Because at first it does feel uncomfortable. I went to a bar by myself. First time ever. And it was very uncomfortable. I felt very conscious. I felt like everybody was looking at me like, you know, it was like, I had my phone in my hand, like, I was scrolling at nothing. I just felt like that was my security, the phone, okay? But I had 2 glasses of wine. After the second glass, I was feeling a little bit wavy. I'm not suggesting you should drink yourself into oblivion, no. But, you know, after I had a couple drinks, I had calmed down and I started taking in the scenes around me, and nobody was watching me. Nobody was looking at me. Everybody's in their own world, okay? Just try it. Date yourselves. Do the things that you would love to do with a partner or a friend because you don't have it, you're down. No. We're not doing that in 2018. We're going out and we're just living our best lives, okay? So yeah, I hope this video has been helpful, guys. And I hope that you've got some sound information from this. And yeah, until then, guys, keep loving yourselves. Yeah, keep loving yourselves and keep treating yourself like the queen and king that you are, because you deserve that treatment, okay? All right, guys. Peace out.